Today I really want to talk about something that has actually changed my life quite dramatically, and I think everyone should have it, but especially if you're an athlete or if you care about your physical health, I think everyone should own one of these, and this is an Ōura ring, and this is one of those other trackers that tracks your sleep, your calorie burn and whatever. But I'm going to get into the specifics of why you want this specifically compared to anything else, really, especially if you're an athlete. Alright, so the first thing is to get the Generation 2 model, and I'll get into that a bit later, but they don't sell these anymore, so I'd recommend going on eBay, and there's online forums to check your size and whatever, because this is obviously something that's going to be very specific to you. I've got pretty thin fingers for a male, and I'm a size 9, and this fits perfectly on my middle. And now for why you want to get Gen 2 is mainly because of the monthly subscription that comes with Gen 3 rings. I think anything now that makes you pay a subscription is such a waste. Everything is subscription based, and it actually really annoys me nowadays. So as you can see from the outside, I'll roll some clips. It is very minimalistic, and genuinely it looks like a normal ring. So obviously people comment on it saying, I ask people, do you think this is a normal ring? And they most of the time say yeah, but it is a bit thicker obviously, just because it needs a battery and all of that, and it's got a little curve at the top which you can probably, or a little straight bit at the top that you'll probably notice. But there's a couple colorways. I got the black one, even though sometimes it looks a bit silver. Next is the charging and battery out of every single tracking device, and it lasts about 5 days if you take care of it. And the charger is literally just this little thing. I'll roll some footage of it as well, but it's literally just this thing that has a USB-C port. You plug it in, place it on top, and it literally charges wirelessly basically. You can just take it off and it's charging like that. And obviously this is all this information is relayed to an app, so you'll be able to see everything off an app, which I will show you in a sec. And it is extremely useful because it gives you details like your heart rate during your sleep. So that's your true resting heart rate. If you don't know, resting heart rate, it's not actually like when you're just sitting down, because it's going to be slightly higher. It literally gives you your actual resting heart rate, which a lot of people, if they're athletes, they like underestimate it quite a lot. Or overestimate, because lower is better. A lot of people say, oh, I've got 30 resting heart rate. You don't. If I've got 46 and I'm been training my whole life and cardiovascular system's sick, then you probably don't have as low as you think. But when I put it on, this is what it looks like. Literally looks like a normal ring. It obviously has got that little straight line up top. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, that's the only bit that doesn't look like a normal ring. But you can get the more expensive version, which is a full circle, but honestly, don't bother. So inside there's 3 sensors that actually tracks everything, and you might be able to see it from here, but I will roll some clips. There's 3 little bumps, but you don't feel them at all, I can't lie. So I think the positives of this is that it's literally completely waterproof. Near enough. I wouldn't take this into hot baths or hot showers just because it might damage the battery, or steam rooms or saunas, but I swim 8 times a week, twice on some days, and this tracks everything just fine. The long battery life is a huge plus compared to an Apple Watch. Apple Watch you have to charge every 2 nights, every night. This charges so fast as well. In an hour it gets like 70% battery. So if you have like a spare 20 minutes, so you sit down on your desk, just literally plop this on the charger, put it back on. I wouldn't keep it on overnight on the charger because I feel like that would destroy the battery because it's a small battery. Another bonus that in the Generation 2 model specifically is that there's no monthly subscription. One-time pay and you get all of your analytics and stuff. What else? I think it looks really good as well. And compared to every other tracking device, it's very small. Like you see, I'll compare it to the Whoop later, but it's just so small and convenient to have. Like it literally no one would even notice that you have it on, and you can just wear it normally. Now, the things that could be a bit better, because obviously there will be a few things. Um, there is no live heart rate on the Gen 2 model specifically because it doesn't have one of those infrared sensors. So you only actually see it during the night, or once you're sleeping, it tracks your heart rate. But you can't just go on the app and check what your heart rate is at that moment unless you get the Gen 3 model, but then you have to do the monthly subscription. Now, the other thing that I hate about this thing, they say it's titanium, which, sure, I believe them, it's brand new 350, so they can afford to make it titanium. But it's got a plastic coating, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see from any of the clips I showed, but it scratches so easily. Like, I had a dumbbell with it once, and it literally, I grabbed the dumbbell, I looked at my ring, and it just scratched at the bottom. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. So yeah, I would not recommend using it for weight training. If that's the only thing you do, I probably would recommend something else, like a Whoop, but that would be more expensive. And another thing that I really don't like about it is that it can't detect training intensity. So let's say it can't detect the difference between me walking and then me swimming like max effort. When I'm walking, it automatically puts everything to moderate intensity, so it doesn't actually truly track calories burned. You can later enter in if it was an easy workout or a hard workout, but obviously there's a broad range in the middle, and most of the time you just eyeball it or check how you feel. Like for a walk, I always switch it to easy. For swimming, it's either moderate, easy, or hard, depending on how I'm going. Now, last thing I wanted to do is compare it to the Whoop. And the Whoop is something else that a lot of people were interested in, but the issue is with that, it's completely monthly subscription based. So you get the model, it gets delivered to you, and then it's £30 per month, and that can really add up. I will be honest with you, I think if you've got an unlimited budget, the Whoop is probably better because it gives you intensity during your training, it tells you about muscle fatigue, and it detects different types of training. And also it's got a lot more like of an expansive base to it. I know if you watch Dr. Huberman, he's done like content on there, that's specifically on there, which I think is great. And I think overall it's probably better in terms of specifically for an athlete, but I think this is the best all-around device that you can have in terms of everything. It ticks every box. And I think the sleep information on this is really important, and the fact that you don't have to charge it a lot means that you can wear it multiple nights at a time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video of a quick review of the Ōura ring. I would definitely recommend getting one, probably for everyone, no matter if you're an athlete, but especially if you're an athlete and you need to track your sleep and improve it, because I promise you, you need to improve your sleep, because I do too, trust me. Alright, thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next one.